have been sent away by a wife because it's the husband that gave me the business. And the wife looks at me and she's like, what type of cleaner is this in heels, has lipstick, what? I'm like, does she know I was already given 50%? And if you ask me whether there's competition, domestic cleaning, there's no competition. The market is too big, everybody has a share. Then you also have the Bachelor's program. Where we assign a cleaner to a bachelor, tell her, don't send Maria on Monday, send her on Wednesday. Weekends I'm not available, can she come Thursday? That's how flexible we are. When we talk about starting work at 7 a.m, we are going to be at site at 7 a.m. Please make sure the house is ready for the deep clean. They're still asleep, which is eating into your time, and the house is big. And you shared a quotation for one day, like this. Right now there are clients that will call me and I know that's not my client.
Just from the way the need that they have.
Exactly,
right
yes. Not for anything, but because you know who your client is.
True.
Yes, so someone says, you know, the washing bay, it's 40K. That's not my client, because they don't understand the value of their capex. Then the other thing is, when we come to these spaces, the maids are scared.
Their jobs are on the line.
Yes. So they have the resistance.
Yes.
So that's why I keep on telling my supervisors, you need to befriend them.
Yes.
They feel safe. Then when you go back for routine cleanings, like, madam, they're like, I have work. Then they're our friends. My team was working, cleaning chairs, power goes. And then they call me, they're like, power has gone. I'm like, okay, so how long has it been? 10 minutes. Share with me the color of the chairs. They were creamers. Like, no. We can't let water trench into those chairs, even if it is 15 minutes or 30. I had to hire a generator nearby. It was very costly.
And you learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson that night.
Thank you for coming on the show, Sharon. We're very glad to have you here. For our viewers, please introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Thank you very much, Herbert. Thank you for having me this morning. My name is Musiime Sharon, founder of Freshly Kleen, an establishment that was founded 6 years ago, to be precise. So Freshly Kleen is a cleaning company that provides quality, reliable, and sustainable cleaning solutions for both commercial and residential spaces that later translate into very beautiful spaces. In terms of hygiene, so we are located right now in Nalia Estates. That's Shelter Road. That's where you find us. That's our home. Yeah, we have a wide range of services under cleaning. But you see, with URSB, when someone talks about cleaning, why we have to be very specific is because even laundry is under cleaning. Yeah, so for us, we are strictly cleaning spaces, because we find there's so many people that call us and they tell us, I have a bunch of duvets, we have curtains to clean, but we have partners that we work with that also do that. So we gladly partner with them, but strictly Freshly Kleen, we clean spaces. Every space that needs to be cleaned, we are there. So when I break down the services that we do, is for the commercial space, we are looking at offices, we are looking at warehouses, we are looking at high-rise buildings, we are looking at schools, we are looking at hospitals, we are looking at apartments, that is the Airbnbs, which is clearly for commercial. Then we are also looking at condominiums as well, where we also do what we call facade cleaning for high-raised glass, because right now, when you look at spaces in real estate, it's moving so fast. People are building modern homes. Modern homes, that means there are 3 levels, probably the second level and the third level is purely glass. Yeah, so that's what we talk about, the modern levels, and that's why facade cleaning is needed. Then when we move to the domestic space, which is where Freshly Kleen started from. So the domestic spaces, we have homes, we have apartments that people live in as a home, not now apartments. Now the other side, we have the commercial bit where someone is like, this is an Airbnb and strictly business. So we have apartments that people live in, the homes when someone is moving into their house, their new house, or just maintenance for their homes. So under domestic is where we break it down further. So we clean windows, we clean mattresses. People get very shocked when we say we clean mattresses. Right. Yes, they get shocked because most times people feel like they need to discard them because it's a private space. They feel like, okay, someone is going to go into my bedroom, and it's tagged with whatever people have stereotyped in their minds. But for a first-time mother like myself, when I had just given birth to my son, I felt the attachment to sleep with them in my bed.
True.
And the child is going to pee on the bed.
True.
Yeah, but that, you don't have to discard the mattress. We clean the mattress. We clean chairs, both cloth and leather. We clean carpets and rugs. Why do I say carpets and rugs? There are rugs that are woven and the carpets that are also different from the rugs. So that's why we differentiate them. Because someone will call you and say, do you clean rugs? You clean carpets. We clean both. Children, when they are growing up, they feel like the entire house is their paradise to be able to experience when they're coming back from school. That's why clients call us and they're like, my walls are painted with crayons. We clean. We can be able to clean that. Of course, we come inspect and find the depth. We can be able to advise and say, this is something that we can do, this we can't do. Yeah, then we also polish floors, wooden floors, tiles, terrazzo, and concrete floors. Now, the concrete floors are those that we normally find in industries, because normally it's very rough. We also do that as well. So when you go, that's now indoors. So we go to exterior cleaning. Now, exterior cleaning, we have roof tile cleaning. What in Uganda would call a meticulous, we clean them as well. So find clients that have had houses that have been in existence for 40 years. And maybe they have a plan to renovate, and people always think about renovating inside.
Right.
Yes, and they're like, Amategula, should we go to roofing and just change, because they feel like the roof tiles have been in existence for the last probably 40 years and they feel like they're old. Yes, they're old. You replace a few that are broken, but the rest we can be able to clean. Look at gutters and fascia boards. People think we're just going to paint them. No, they can be cleaned. And most of the times people do not know that these services are available.
True.
And that is why we want to that's why we put out the social media pages to make sure people see, because when they see these things on our statuses, on our social media handles, that's when they come to us, go like, how do you do this? I was very surprised to see such a picture, because they do not know that these things can be done or this cleaning is done. So we need to be able, that's why we keep putting out all these pictures, the images, the short clips, for people to understand that these services are there for them. So exterior, we also clean pavers. Pavers are the highest causes of accidents at home. And
really?
Yes, they are. Why? Because when you clean cars, you're using soap. And if you don't clean the water so that it drains away, it creates algae and it's slippery.
True.
Because the pavers are not being cleaned regularly. So we have our children in the evening, over the weekend, riding bikes. So they'll slide. Yourself, when you're moving, you'll slide on algae. So it's good for you to be able to maintain them. Clean them once in a while. It could be every quarter. It could be a month. But also still, it depends on the type of pavers that you have. There are those that are really, really hard. And it's when you clean them a one-off, it will take you more 6 months or a year to clean them again. There are those that will take 3 months, a month. Every client is unique with whatever they have at their property. Then also the stonework, the perimeter wall normally has that stonework. We also clean it. It's part of exterior cleaning as well. So we maintain such spaces. You realize when you go to most of these homes right now, there are those pillars that also have stonework.
Yes.
So we also clean them as well. Someone says it's fading. Kampala is dusty. 90% of Kampala is dusty. Even the high-end areas that we thought, the Kololos, the Muyenga, and you think they're exceptional? No, there's quite a lot of dust, which calls for maintenance. So that's what we do. And the reason as to why we want to pitch maintenance is because we think that maintenance is bringing in a plumber to fix the water pipes, is bringing in someone to repaint the house.
When it's broken.
Yes, when it's broken, but people don't think don't look at cleaning as part of maintenance. And yet I feel like it takes about 30% of maintenance. Let me give you an example. When you go to places that are really, real estate is really booming and it's moving so fast, you find out that in spaces like Bulindo, you go to Bulindo, just to give you an example, you site inspect a house that is worth 1 billion. 3 floors, glass. Sometimes we clean these spaces and there's a truck that is offloading furniture for the entire house that has been shipped. Just only the value.
Right.
Yes. You clean such a house, because for us we call it post-construction. Post-construction is a newly built house that someone is getting into that needs a deep cleanup. That's what we do.
Just before they move in.
Yes, just before they move in. So Immediately after the cleaning, of course, you try to picture like, we can be able to maintain this place. Let's give you a routine plan, cleaning plan. So the client tells you, we have 2 maids. That's sufficient enough. Shall call you for the chairs, for the carpets once in a while. My children are in boarding. Yeah, which is perfectly fine. After 6 months, you go back to the house. The entire kitchen cabins are broken. The chairs are stained because there's no maintenance. You realize that everything is falling apart because it's not the right quality. It's very good quality, but the maintenance is the problem. And that is where cleaning comes in. So what is the cost of you having a 1 billion house and furnishing that you cannot be able to maintain? So for us, that is our point. What would it take? Just get a cleaning plan from a professional cleaning company, because time and time again, people, for us as, I don't want to say .com mothers, the mothers that are working, we don't have too much time. When we bring in these maids, we think they know, but they don't. You think they're going to give you the professional service. They're not, because they're coming in looking for a job. That's it. And you expect them to know how to operate a microwave. No, they don't. Some of them come and they can't flush a toilet. Yeah. So that's when you have a plumber coming in because everything is clogged. But you see, it's because you think this person understands what to do, but they don't. So when we are pitching for what we call routine cleaning, which cuts across both domestic and commercial, where we have cleaning plans, you can say, Sharon, I have a maid that I've been with for the last 5 years. She loves my children. She takes care of my home. She's perfectly okay. I feel like I'm comfortable with her. But my problem is she cannot be able to give me the professional cleaning that I need. I would say, perfectly fine. That's okay. Let her, keep her. It's perfectly fine. Contract a cleaning company to come routinely to give you professional deep cleaning. Let your maid maintain the standard that we've set until the next routine. So that's what we call routine cleaning now. That routine cleaning cuts across both commercial and domestic. Now let's go to the domestic part, the commercial part. You have an office space. CEO's office has a fitted-in carpet. The corridor has a carpet. You employ over 50 staff, office chairs. You have over 3 floors, there are toilets. So you have these cleaners that you have employed. One, they're not reliable. And most of the times, the administrator, the receptionist, is responsible for the cleaners. But that's not their job description. They don't even know what to do. So when 2 of the cleaners don't show up, it's a mess. When they have all these excuses, they'll be away. So what is it going to take for you to recruit? It's going to be a week or 2 for you to find someone to fit into the system, understand how it's done. Train them. Of which the person you're telling to train, clearly their job description is customer care. They don't even know what to do. When you ask them, what happened to the cleaner today? You have a board meeting. The carpet is really dusty. Yeah, and then you find sometimes they call us because they are frustrated, because when there's that gap, they have to fill it. You understand? So this is what, because there's an administrator that called me because they wanted to give me a referral. And they told me, Sharon, I think I'm tired. I need to set an appointment with you, with my boss, for you and my boss, because I feel like it has become my job description. We keep on having these cleaners that come and go. We can't recruit in time. The office is really big and it needs to be maintained. These cleaners are the ones that are helping us in the kitchen. Coffee mugs are everywhere. Place is really dusty. Go like, fine. If you still want to keep them, it's perfectly okay. We're going to do the same thing. Let a cleaning company come. We vacuum clean the carpets, maybe over the weekend, Sunday. Clean the office chairs. Clean the bathrooms. Deep clean the bathrooms. Then they will come and maintain. But at the end of the day, we still ask you, are you ready to pay 6 cleaners every month and again pay a cleaning company? Yeah, at the end of the month as well. That's a lot of money. How about you give the contract to a cleaning company to be able to help you take care of that? First and foremost, when there's a gap for a cleaner, immediately they are replaced with another person, meaning we are reliable. 2, they are trained to be able to know what they're supposed to do, trained to know what is supposed to be used. Going back to domestic. I'll jump a little bit because most of the times when it comes to my mind, I want to say it before I forget it. Domestic. Recently, I think I was pitching. Then I mentioned how people do not realize that you're going to find a maid who is going to put the flask in the fridge.
True.
Because they don't know, because you put a jug of water or bottle of water in the fridge. That's all she knows.
Yes.
Then she's going to put a metallic, let's say, small saucepan in a microwave. She doesn't know because she just saw you doing it. You don't have time.
I saw myself.
Exactly.
The lady put a percolator on the oven and turned on and then said the water was not boiling.
Thank you.
Yes.
So because they are not trained to be able to know, for them, all they need is, I need to work. So I'm here. But we don't give them time to explain to them how you want things to run, because you also don't have that time. They will do their bare minimum. So while they do their bare minimum, find that space where you feel like, okay, she loves my kids, that I can do. How do I support her? Maybe she's not a bad person. Yeah, she can be able to be trained. She can be able to learn, but you have the time. So while you don't have the time, because when you look at the kind of life we are living lately, with the kind of traffic in Kampala, we all leave home at 5:30 or 6. You're either dropping kids, you're running for a meeting. So you sit in traffic getting home and you're home by 9. You're tired.
Yes.
You're not going to go through the house. Lately, weekends, that's the only time we have to our kids, family time. You're out, you go to church, come back, and the weekend has run so fast. That's why everybody has Monday blues. Yeah, because we are tired. So we don't have that time. It's perfectly fine. That's okay. That's why professional cleaning companies like Freshly Kleen exist. Come to us. Let's give you a cleaning plan. Please note that every client is unique. When people call and they're like, we have a 3-bedroom apartment, how much? It's not a product. Yeah, it's a service, and every client is unique. That's why we want to inspect and see what we are going to do. What's the extent? How do you want it done? How do your tiles look like? How are the windows? Can someone pass through their hand through the burglar? So we did that when we were first getting into business, where you're looking for clients, you feel like you can't lose this client. So it's emotional. When someone calls you immediately, you're like, okay, let me give just an estimate. Then you get to site and it's something totally different. You've either undercoated and the client doesn't want you to go backwards. Then you look very unprofessional. You don't look ready, but it's because you don't have standards. And what do the standards say? Please, let's first inspect the space. And you see clients will call you emotionally. Hi, Herbert gave me your number. I need cleaning done today. It's midday. Okay, where are you? She's telling you she's in Garuga. And you're like, so we can, no, Pambi, I need this now. Please, can you help me? They're desperate. But in their desperacy, that's where you're going to make all these mistakes. And she's the first client that is going to say, Freshly Kleen is not professional.
True.
Because they came late, they go to site
and
at 3.
I called them, I gave them notice.
Yes, I gave them notice. And, you're killing your credibility, which is really important because we're in people's spaces. It's very, very sensitive, the kind of work that we do, especially for domestic. That is why we want to inspect every house before we share an invoice or a quotation, so that the client is, we are able to feel like, okay, we can be able to serve these clients based on our quotation, than getting there and you're like, I don't think the 500,000 is enough because this is what we have found. The client doesn't want to go backwards. Maybe they're not even there. So it makes us more organized and ready to serve a client, and then not feeling that we are cheated, or the client feeling that they are cheated. Yeah. So that's it with routine cleaning. It's something that we're also pushing, and we've got so many clients right now domestically because they're sending their kids to boarding and they no longer feel like they need maids, which is perfectly okay. So we draw a cleaning plan for them. Some homes we do 3 times a week. I send a team to clean 3 times a week. Some once a week, maybe let's say a weekend. Then we also have the Bachelor's program.
Which one is that one?
So the Bachelor's program is a program that I got from a friend of mine. So he called me and he was like, hi, Sharon. I am so agitated with the lady that does my cleaning over the weekend. One, she's not reliable. She comes late. I want to go watch soccer. I can't stay in the house waiting for someone who is cleaning and they're taking their time. True. It's a weekend. I have a lot of things to do. I was like, okay, so how do you want me to help you? Please help me with one of your cleaners. Let them be able to help me. That night I didn't sleep. I thought about how many bachelors were there struggling
True.
like them, because these ladies that clean for them, they're not reliable. That's why the reason as to why he couldn't let her stay in the house is because they don't trust them.
Yes.
But they would have said, oh, this is a lady that cleans for me every day. When she comes, I just walk away. I'll just tell her, do this, today don't do this, today don't do that. But imagine he was stuck in the house for the entire day, waiting for her to wash, clean the dishes, change his bed sheets, dust his shoes. It's just a bachelor. Sometimes not even too much, but they need the services. It's convenience. And they have quite a lot to do. Sometimes even some work on Saturdays. So that's where we added on to our service line, what we call the bachelor's program, where we assign a cleaner to a bachelor. So they would call and you're flexible. It's actually flexible. Tell her, don't send Maria on Monday. Send her on Wednesday. Weekends I'm not available. Can she come Thursday? That's how flexible we are. It's just one cleaner, but they make their lives very easy. One, because we are professional. You can trust us because it's a company. If Maria is not available, we're not going to give you any stories. Most definitely someone will be able to replace her, and you'll still get the service in time and quality service. Yes, so that's what we call the bachelor's program. Whereas with homes, we have routine cleaning where we send you a cleaner. Every client is unique. There are those that take up packages for a weekends. There are those that take up packages for once a month, and there are those that do monthly or quarterly. And for commercial spaces, it's normally quarterly because they're thinking, okay, so when do we do the next deep cleanup? Every quarter. Then there are spaces that have really, really high traffic. Can't take in the quarter ones. Those are the ones that we do every month. Hospitals. Now we have what we call the night shift. Very interestingly, where did the night shift come from? So the night shift is a service that we pushed due to our diverse clients. Let's say restaurants, hotels, saloons, that will not stop their day-to-day business for you to clean.
That's good.
Yeah. And secondly, they close late. So we realized the only way we were able to help them was to be able to introduce the night shift so that we don't interfere with their day-to-day business, while we also were able to give them the service that they need. We are able to clean chairs, let's say restaurant chairs, in the night, and in the morning, people can have breakfast at 6:30 a.m. because there's the machinery that can do that and the expertise. We can be able to clean at a hotel, even if there are high-raised windows, fairway, we did that. 3 nights we did, and we finished the entire glass. But we did that at night because you don't want to have scaffolds in the way, people are moving during the day, and you have to put caution signs everywhere, then you block. So the night shift has really worked for us, and clients have appreciated it. Yeah. Then we also want to reach out to schools. So how do we deal with schools? With schools, like so many parents are taking their children to boarding school. As a parent, I'll tell you, I would want to see where my child sleeps. Especially now, first time, I'll most definitely follow her to the dormitory or him to the dormitory.
And the bathrooms.
Exactly, and the bathrooms. So what do? We talk to the schools and tell them, listen, this is a package that we have. We know that you have a very big team that cleans the entire school. But are they doing professional deep cleaning? No. Is the school going to buy machinery for cleaning? No. They're doing the bare minimum. That any maid is going to do with the rag, mops, and that's it. And they will maintain the normal cleaning. But for a cleaning company, we're saying, during holidays, before school starts, let's clean the entire dormitory. Let's clean all the toilets and disinfect them. Because when these kids are coming back from school, from home, they need to feel that this space is really safe and clean for them. As a parent is going to appreciate a school that is maintained. When I walk into those toilets and I feel like the toilets are maintained, they are clean, they are hygienic, and then go to the dormitory and I find the dormitory is really clean, where my child is going to sleep. The windows are not broken and they look funny, they have molds and algae, then a parent is going to be comfortable. But now, this is a program that we give most schools for holiday. That's the holiday package before. So we've done that for the Stone Ridge School, and we've done that for Serum as well. So we're trying to tap and reach out to schools so that we can be able to help them maintain the standards in terms of hygiene, and the parents will be very comfortable because most of the times Children come back from school when they have infections, and it's from the toilets because they're not maintained. They don't even have the right. The only thing I remember back in the day at school, they used to pour jizz in toilets, and it would smell the entire month. Yeah, but that's the best they would do. But right now, we have the best detergents that there is, the disinfectants that there is. But you see, if you still buy the disinfectants and still the cleaners don't know how to use it, it says you've not done anything. So contract a cleaning company that is going to come, provide a professional and quality service that your parents and the students are going to appreciate. And that's all that we do with schools. Then with hospitals, it's clearly the same. Hospitals, we have cleaning programs that are for probably, like, let's say, every end of month, that we give them a deep cleanup, especially toilets, because it's high traffic. Those are the high traffic areas as well. Then restaurants, we find out that they don't care about their kitchens. The kitchens are terrible. That's why someone will say, I'd rather buy packed juice. I won't buy fresh juice. Because probably there's something
you don't want to see what they're doing.
Exactly. But go to their kitchens, do a deep cleanup for the kitchens. And because there's a night shift, because the night shift, you're not busy. Give it time. Clean up the kitchen. Grease. Too much oil everywhere. Someone brings you a glass and you have to double check it.
Right.
You have to double check it. But when you know that such a space has a program where they deep clean the space, even the client will appreciate it more. Yeah, the way you serve them. So these are services that we provide. But because clients are not aware that we do all this, most times we want to put ourselves out there. And sometimes when we reach out to clients, we don't want to assume that they know. Because sometimes when you're talking about them something, they're like, really, do you do that? How do you do that? Is there a machine that does that? Yeah. So that's why most of the times we have quite a lot of pictures and clips and videos that show all these things that we do. We can't assume that everybody has done this, because we get so many issues with clients that have not encountered a cleaning company before. They think you're going to bring a squeezer and a mop, and that's it. So when you share a quotation, they're like, Sharon, this is like buying a piece of land. What exactly are you going to do? So you share and break down the quotation from everything, from we're going to clean the windows, deep clean, disinfect this, do the entire kitchen. And like, okay. Then they start, getting the feel of it. But you see, you cannot wake up in the morning and just say, yeah, we're going to come and deep clean your house, and that's it. And then you're giving them a quotation of 1.5. What do you mean 1.5? There's got to be value for money. So what is this going to do? So take them through, give them time. So that's why we started with domestic cleaning.
Right.
Because the gap was there. And so many guys, when I joined the market, there was quite a lot of cleaning companies that were into the commercial space for the contracts. Yes, it's stability, it's good money, but no one wanted to do domestic. Why? It's hectic. It's hard. That's the truth. Domestic cleaning is hard. You're dealing with every client's emotions.
Yes.
There are those that are very sensitive. They will not allow my team to clean when I'm not there.
Yes.
Because they feel, I know Sharon, I don't know her team. I don't care whether you have 2 supervisors. Yeah, you need to know how to deal with such a client. Then there are those that just have insecurity reasons. They just don't trust this. There's a client that had 8 at some, it was an 8-bedroom house. It was really a full house. It was really big. So I sent her quotation, and I'm like, it's going to be a team of 10. She got scared. She was like, no, I've never had strangers in my house, 10 of them. I'm like, okay, how do you expect us to clean an 8-bedroom? I was like, Sharon, I don't care, split it. I can only take 3. I really feel like she was anxious.
Right.
Yeah, but because she's not had so many people in her house, we are going to move things. And she has 70% of her house is full of plants and pots.
Wow.
So you have to make sure you take care of the pots. You have to make sure she's comfortable. We had to clean when she's available so that she can understand how everything is done. Yes. You need to move this. Yes, we need to move that. Okay. So while they're cleaning the master bedroom, will you be available? Because she feels it's her private space, but she wanted it cleaned as well. So with domestic cleaning, you're dealing with the client's emotions. You're dealing with, now you have to give them the best service there
White
is.
glove service.
Yes, but then mixing the two, understanding every client is unique. There's a client, you send a quotation, you're just halfway, she's praising you and putting you on social media. Oh my God, this client, they are really doing a good job. You should give them business. And there's one that wants to clearly manipulate you. Yes, I'll say this again, a client will manipulate you if you don't have the right system. Because they look at the price, They never read the questions. When you put everything down and you say, okay, these are the policies of the company. We don't work alongside other service providers. They don't read that. When power goes off, there's a standby generator to hire. They don't read that. Yeah. Then when we talk about starting work at 7 a.m., we are going to be at site at 7 a.m. Please make sure the house is ready for the deep clean. They're still asleep, which is eating into your time, and the house is big. And you shared a quotation for one day, like this. So when you ask me about the challenges that we face in cleaning companies, especially domestic,
yes,
you have many. There's so many. Yeah, there's so many, because one, the client has not done it before. So it's unless, because most of the times when you get to the site, I've driven to Garuga, all the way to Garuga to clean a house. And it was a one day off. It's out of town. I explained to the client, we're going to be there as early as possible so that we are able to finish early so you can have the house back. It's really big. Moving beds, cleaning the closets, putting back the clothes, making sure everything is where it's supposed to be, cleaning the chandeliers one piece at a time because it's crystal. There's a team outside cleaning the windows, scaffolds, because it's really high. Then you have another team that's doing the entire kitchen. We remove the entire kitchenware, glasses, clean the glasses, make sure they are dry, make sure you don't break anything, put them back the way you found them.
Wow.
Yeah. And we get to site, it is 7, curtains are drawn, not even the maid is awake. So
but you had a discussion the day before, and
she
was aware.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine, that's okay. So the maid wakes up and she says the kids are still asleep. They'll need to first wake up. I fix breakfast, they shower, and there's a driver coming to pick them.
Then after that.
Exactly. So I try to call the lady, and the maid tells me she's still asleep. Okay, she's not picking. Is it possible for you to knock? No, I can't knock. Because there are policies at people's homes.
Right.
So we try to be patient. But I can imagine time is rushing. I won't be able to finish. I can't come back to Garuga. If I come back to Garuga, the next day the quotation has to change.
Of course.
Because now that's a 2 days job. And probably this was like a client you had to fight with before. Yeah, this is very expensive. How much can you know? So finally she wakes up and it's coming to 9. And she tells me, no, give us 30 minutes. It took 2 hours. So such clients give us the feel of going back to the system. How do we fasten the system? How do we, so that you don't crash with them? Because it's domestic. Every client feels they're entitled. You're into their space. She sent you 50% down payment, but
you're already enjoying her money.
Yes, you're already enjoying her money. So really, yeah. Then there are those that just look at the price and they don't want to know about these other policies that are onto the invoice. And you get to site, you have someone who is literally putting in curtain rods. And there's one who is in the bathroom and they're fixing glass. And then you're supposed to clean the glass. Then it's still wet. Then you have someone, then there are movers outside waiting to move. And you're talking to the client. First and foremost, we have a problem where for domestic post-construction cleaning, clients do not want to inspect their sites. They lean on the people that are at site. Most of the times, we find either the caretaker or the painter while we inspect. From my expertise, Herbert, I'll be able to tell that this house will be ready next week. But the client, because of the pressures they have, they'll tell you, Sharon, in 3 days, we shall be ready. Share quotation, everything is done, you're waiting. So immediately after she calls you and she's like, can we start tomorrow? I want to move. I want to leave the apartment because now the month has ended. So she gets her pressure, puts it on you. Then you tell her, but I don't think. No. Let me call the painter. The painter says, Madam, don't worry. We're working at night. We shall be done. So she goes to work because she's not going to be at site with you. She tells you, Sharon, can we start tomorrow? You're like, perfectly okay. You go to site, reach site, nothing changed. She has not been to her site. She has no idea what's happening. They are lying to her because she's not inspecting.
True.
Yeah. Service providers will always manipulate you. You'll not know. So we get there and we find ourselves fighting with the other service providers in the premise. So you're telling them, guys, we need to clean. They're like, no, madam, while your team is here to work, we are also working. Because she knows you're also a service provider. This person knows you're also a service provider. By the time you reach out to the client, It's like a pity party. Now she's like, Sharon, you need to help me. I have nothing to do. Okay, let's see. What time will they be done? And you're like, no, the paint has to dry. It's going to take 4 hours. And for us, if you've given us our 50%, we shall go away. That's the truth. Because we expect you to have read the policies that come with that quotation. That helps us be able to guide you, know that we are very professional. This is what we do. We can't work backwards. When you tell us, first start upstairs as the people down are finishing. By the time you're down, the same people are moving up.
To
Cleaning is in real time. It's like me cleaning this floor. After 2 hours, it will be different if people start moving into the floor. I cannot even account for what I did. So cleaning is in real time. So all you know, people are moving up and down, putting in things, entering, getting out. You find yourself telling the team, let's go back upstairs and clean. That's not how you're going to run the business. You need to have standards. You need to have policies because clients don't understand it. She's not even available. So you're busy fighting with other service providers. Why? Cleaning is the last thing that should be done. That's why I keep on telling my clients, do whatever you're doing. Cleaning is the last thing. I want to clean your house when you're moving in tomorrow. So someone asks you to clean today. They have not put this. Sometimes they ask and we advise, but it's not in our place unless the client says, okay, can we be able to? So advise, what do we do? Do we first clean or we first? I'm like, no, finish. So that you'll enjoy the house, get value for your money immediately when you're moving in. It makes quite a lot of sense. But now you can't do 5 things at a go. You can't call a cleaner to clean. And then you want someone to come and fumigate 3 hours before the cleaners. Yeah. And then there's someone also who is plumbing. Then you have someone painting because the client says this was not the blue I wanted. And she's at site and she's telling the painters, this is not the blue that I wanted. You need to change it. So those are the issues that we get. But every day when we meet different clients like that, they help us be able to go back and align. Where are the gaps? Internally. Where are the gaps? We're not going to fight with the client at site. We'll understand. They have their own pressures. You don't know what she has been dealing with. Some, it's genuine enough that it's a mistake that they made probably last night. You understand? So while they made it last night, she's trying her best. So she will call you and say, we have a small gap. Is it possible? Let's leave this room and clean the other room. But I'm requesting, can you send me just one person tomorrow to help me? That's genuine. But their clients would adamantly not want to know because they paid you 50%. Whether you're at their site 3 days, they don't care. We are very, 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 very specific. We shall tell you, and our quotations say, if it is a 1 day's job, it has to be a 1 day's job. When we go into day 2, we are going to charge for day 2. So all these things that I'm talking about are the things that the other big cleaning companies that want to do commercial
did not
stay
want
away.
to deal with.
Stay away. And for us, we are like, the hard road, bring it on. Let's start there. Why? The truth is, if you can do domestic and you nail it, commercial is a walk in the park. Why? Because commercial, you have Herbert's office. Herbert says, I'm very particular. Tell the cleaner to just do the floor. I don't want her to touch my table.
True.
Why? She's not trained. She's the same cleaner that is going to come and put a rug on his table. He's going to find his laptop wiped. You know, it has marks and slits everywhere. Maybe you're very particular and she keeps moving your things. You know where you've put your paper, piece of paper. You've written a number.
Challenge, by the
you
way.
understand.
Yes.
They don't know how to do that. So someone would rather do the bare minimum, go away. Yeah? So, and then you have the toilet, you have the stairs, you have, and they're done. A home is detailed. But I have encountered a set of sofa that was between velvet and feathery. Believe you me, I had to run to the internet to find out,
figure out
how do I do this? The client was available, which was good. So what we knew is what we did. But because we sample a lot, we are glad that it was just only a sample. So when we cleaned this chair and started extracting water out of the sofa, it became like hard. Like it stopped being velvet. We didn't know what to do. Supervisor was stuck, called me. I'm like, what's happening? To say, why is that chair dries? It totally changes. First and foremost, it's changing color from white to cream. So we were like, there must be detergent. So going back to that bit where the stereotyping, people don't like to read. The chair had labels
on how to clean.
Yes, but it was under. So The client comes, asks, what's the problem? What's happening? So we tell him this is what has happened to the chairs. Like, I also don't know. But let me try to find a manual, because we assembled the chairs here. Must have a manual. We realized the chairs you just have to steam them. How about steaming only? So I didn't have a steamer then. Now we do. Thanks to that client.
Right.
Now we do. I had to look for a steamer. Just steamed the chairs.
Wow.
And they came back to life.
And the other part also came back to life?
Yes, the other part also came back to life. Why? Because we arrested it so fast.
Right.
Yes. So you have to move with the moving trends in this type of business. There's quite a lot that's happening. People are coming from the diaspora. They're shipping stuff in here. We're used to the usual fabric that you clean and go. No, you have to understand there are people that have tiles. The tiles that I think it's a particular tile that comes from Italy that I encountered, that you don't clean with water and detergent. You have to clean it with hot water. When you put detergent and water, it changes the color of the tiles. So while people are thinking of domestic, put it in your mind that it's a learning curve every day. You have to understand that every client is unique. You cannot stereotype any client.
True.
Because the world is moving so fast. Real estate is changing. People are building modern homes. It is luxurious living. How you're going to plug into such a client is you need to move with the trends. You need to understand the needs of the client. What type of furnishing is in that house? How best can you be able to maintain it? You have to constantly train the team. Behind you, it looks like it's stucco. The wall. The first time me and my team encountered stucco, we were cleaning the skirting. So while we cleaned the skirting, the cleaner realized the paint was going off.
Yes.
So we needed to go back to the drawing board. Like, okay, there's a paint called stucco. How do we deal with it? So we read. So imagine if you're not moving by the trends, domestic is not for you. Because every home is unique. Every client is unique. Their needs are unique. It's hectic that I have been sent away by a wife because it's the husband that gave me the business.
So she's not sure how.
So I get there and we have done everything and I'm waiting for the wife to let me know how she wants me to do the cleaning. When do we do it? It's like the husband saying, I've contracted you. Now deal with my wife to get to understand, do we clean the things that are coming from the old house? Do we clean them from here? Deal with the wife. She'll understand how she wants her home. I go to the wife and the wife looks at me and she's like, what type of cleaner is this in heels, has lipstick, what? So I'm looking at this lady and it's Q&A and she's asking me, so what's the name of your company? Do you have a website? Who are your clients? I'm like, does she know I was already given 50% down payment? I'm like,
that would be a heartbreaker.
Yes, I was like, well, I explained everything, but honestly, her body language was like, nah, this is not a cleaner. This is something else. But because clients are different, they think different. They had never contracted a cleaning company before. Probably in her mind, I needed to have come in an overall and gumboots to look the part that she wants me to look.
Pail.
Yes, and a bucket and mops. But I told her, well, yeah, this is what we do. So one, if you're dealing with families, you need to be very sensitive. You cannot be a victim of what's happening.
True.
In their home. So one, right now I have a team of 2 supervisors that do the site inspection to stay away from such things. You're going to lose business because a client wants to look at you in a particular way. And I'm not going to change who I am or fit into what they want. But one thing for sure, if it's professional service, it's quality, I'll give that. But it doesn't mean I have to look a particular way. But those are the things that you're going to get and you need to be ready for it.
True.
Secondly, the level of patience that you need to be able to be in these domestic spaces is you need to go through praying and fasting. It's insane because every client has their own demands. Some have pressure. There's one who will stress you. Have you had like a job where you're like, this one?
Yes.
I don't know. Even the team is like, we need to get done with this one. Yeah, there are clients that are really, they're not, for them, there's nothing that you're going to do that will please them. And they want you to make miracles, and yet you're not going to make miracles. You've had this house for over 20 years. You remove the tiles and put them back, and you use different grout. So she calls you because the tiles are white and the grout is cream. She wants you to clean the grout and take it to white. But you're explaining to her and she's like, no, there must be something. You're a cleaning company. No, still we don't do miracles. If we find that this table has been stained or there are particular things that we can't do, we advise and we tell clients, this is the best that we can do. This we can't do. When we normally encounter burglar, when they are painting the wall, normally paint spills onto the burglar.
Yes.
So when you try to clean the paint off the burglar, now the paint that is also on the burglar goes off.
Mm-hmm.
So the client says, there are particular stains that I don't want onto the burglar. Please, can you make sure? Because we have site inspected, I will immediately tell you, no, you'll have to repaint that burglar, but we cannot be able to clean. So they are aware. Because if you don't tell them, the next day, she'll call you to give you feedback, because we are so big on feedback. She'll call you for feedback and she'll tell you, I'm not happy with the burglar. But it's because you did not explain to them that that burglar, that's the best you can do, you can't.
True.
If paint spills onto wood and you try to scrub, you'll just leave it pale.
True.
You remove the varnish.
True.
So you know that you have to advise the client to varnish the table again, but you can't scrub it. But you see, the client doesn't know. You need to explain that to them. That is why inspection is key. So when you don't inspect, they will expect everything you're going to do. Yeah. So someone puts silicone onto the windows and the silicone gets dirty and she's telling you to scrub the silicone. So you have to advise the client that the truth is you just have to redo this. We can't make miracles. But that is all the gaps that we got while we were getting into this business. I didn't go to any cleaning school. This was just passion that I had for the business. But when I started, everything was self-taught. I made all these mistakes. We had to learn and learn, move by the trends, go back, read, look at what's happening.
Did you try to maybe look at a service provider already in the field and see if you can?
But you see, because most of them were into the commercial spaces, they weren't dealing with all these things.
Okay.
Yeah. We needed one that has been through domestic cleaning to understand how to deal with such clients. Cleaning is in real time, that even before we started, we don't clean alongside other service providers, those policies. We were very lenient because we were like, okay, we are here to work. We can't go back. Let's try. So a client was away for the weekend. We cleaned the house, finished it on Saturday. They came back Sunday evening. So we left and I communicated with her and told her, we are done with the house. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity. So when we finished, there's a plumber that came in. Someone was drilling to put in curtain rods. All these things were happening. Sunday, she comes back. There are footmarks everywhere. After drilling, there's residues.
Right.
Yeah. The bathroom is so dirty because they were working on it. But I couldn't account for what I did.
True. Did you have pictures, videos?
No, that's where everything was learning. That's why I thought we have cleaned, we're done. The next day, I had to buy both the supervisors smartphones.
For this particular reason.
Because, honestly speaking, I could not explain myself.
True.
I could also tell that, okay, so even if I would say, I think even if we ask the Askari or whoever was there to go back and go like, oh yeah, there's someone else who came. But still, if someone is going to review my work.
She's unsatisfied.
She's not satisfied. And she didn't pay the balance. But for me, it was a learning curve. Quickly, I was like, okay, that's okay. So now the supervisor.
Did you offer to go back and clean again?
Yes, we did. But
she still didn't pay?
Yeah, she still said, no, we'll fix it. Of course, it was not much. But if you want someone to give you feedback, what kind of feedback do you want her to give you, honestly? But for me, it wasn't all about the balance. It was, okay, how do we fix this gap? This is going to happen again.
Of course.
And for me, that's growth. Being able to understand where the loopholes are and fix it tomorrow, because it was a learning curve. No one told me that was going to happen. So we went back to the drawing board. I bought phones and I told them, immediately when the kitchen is done, I'll have pictures of before and after. So that's why I think we have too much content. Every client has content. Remember, there are clients that are going to come to site after 3 days and you want them to still give you feedback. But now they don't know. And they find the table is dusty. But from the clip that I sent you, it was literally like a mirror.
Right.
You understand? So they know, they can tell. So that's why our pictures of before and after, you can be able to tell. Credibility is important. That's not a client that is going to give us good reviews. That's a client who, if Herbert asks, they'll go like, I'm not sure.
You try also.
Yeah, you try. Yeah, that is something that that doesn't sit so well with us. Yeah. So again, goes back to when we are in homes, like a 5-bedroomed house, I'll ask you, when is the last time you checked under your bed? When is the last time you pulled that chest drawer and find out what was thrown behind? You have children, they play, their home is their paradise. So we go to this client's house, we clean. After cleaning, we leave the house spotless, we're done. So in the evening, the client calls me, Sharon, thank you for the good work done. I shared with your supervisor, but the maid says your team was not very careful. One of the dining chairs is very shaky. Maybe your team didn't carry the chair so well. Like, oh wow, okay. So she calls again and says, and then I think they broke 2 glasses. Okay. Then in the master bedroom, the window has a crack. So you tell me, is she going to believe the cleaning company that just came to do a one-off, or she's going to believe the maid that has stayed for the last 3 years? Yeah, that is something else that we encountered. It wasn't very good. There were not good reviews.
And maybe it is also possible that the maid had made these errors.
Now that's what
kept
happens.
Quiet about them and took this
gets an opportunity, yeah, for the cleaners to come and they're like, yeah, now this is my cue. So how do you protect yourself? For us, while the team is downstairs preparing themselves to come to the main house, the supervisor is going through the house. I don't care whether it takes an hour. It also helps us with theft, if you ask. For us, integrity is key because we're in people's spaces. 6 bedrooms, 8 bedrooms, people have headphones. We ladies, we have like 1,000 pairs of earrings, watches, perfumes. Supervisor has to be in check. Supervisor will send me every picture. This pot is cracked. The table is shaking. And I'm sending the client all these pictures and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know. Oh my God, even this. Okay, let me send someone. Let me send a plumber. So most of the times we help them be able to also maintain their homes because these are things that cannot be checked every day. So while we do the kitchen, the supervisor is clearly recording. Nothing was broken. Then the other thing is when we come to these spaces, the maids are scared.
Their jobs are on the line. Yes.
So they have the resistance.
Yes.
So that's why I keep on telling my supervisors, you need to befriend them.
Yes.
They feel safe.
Let them know.
Some want to learn, they'll come and ask us, what does this machine do? By the way, the maids give us business.
How?
They're the ones that tell the clients, Madam, we need the cleaners to come back. The carpets are dirty. Why? Because they felt a sense of, she's a cleaner. These are also cleaners.
Yes.
Then they find it very fancy that for us, we even have machines. Then because they know that we set the standards and they maintain, they feel like we make their work easy.
Of course.
Yeah, when we leave. So they get to also tell their boss, but you see the other cleaning companies had this. I think you buy for me this, I'll be able to maintain the toilet better because they saw us use it. Some are very resistant that, of course, they will start. The cleaners went with my charger. Yeah, they will be so petty. And then remember, when we go into those homes and let's say the client is not available, of course, there's a caretaker, that's the maid, and she wants to be in charge.
Yes.
There's one who frustrated my team and told them, you can't open the master bedroom. Every room that you want to access, call me. I'll be the one to open. All rooms were locked. We were under her mercy. Until I had to call the client and I'm like, can she please open the doors? Because when you're just like, oh, it's okay. But you could tell that I'm the one in charge today and you have nothing to do about it, regardless. So at the end of the day, it's her space. Just clean and go. Sometimes they are really nice, sometimes they are resistant, but it happens. And it's because most of the times they're scared for their jobs. They think probably the cleaning company is there. But then when you talk to them and tell them, we're coming to help you be able to clean the toilet bathrooms, right? You can use this. They can buy for you this. Sometimes you leave them with DIYs. Here you tell them when the sink is clogged or it's really dirty and you feel like it's emitting very not so nice scents, tell them to buy you baking soda. Just 1 pack is 1,500 with vinegar. Just soak after. Then when you go back for routine cleanings, like, Madam, they're like a then they're our friends. And yeah, because you're in people's spaces, so homes are very sensitive. You need to understand how to deal with clients and their needs. Some, of course, are going to be really nice, some are not nice. But at the end of the day, you just want to do the right thing. Then for me, I have a personal relationship with my clients. I want to understand, because most of the times I love
Except
beautiful
the other
spaces.
lady who chased you away. Or maybe now you're friends.
Yeah, that one had her own issues, honestly, and I was not going to be a victim of whatever was happening. Yeah, so there are those that will be there, because you don't know what everyone is dealing with. Yeah, the world has beaten people right, left, and center, that we cannot be able to crucify anyone. People are dealing with their own mental issues, but you do what's right and just go away. That's the only way. Then we also have clients who will of course, manipulate you. Right now, we are not taking up any job without a 50% down payment, because there's a time, I think the dates were insane. It was, you were not running any business anymore, because you find 5 people, payments. We needed like a debt collector at some point. But later we changed the system, because we realized that's not the way we're going to run the business. We decided to ask for 50% down payment to make sure that we start off the work. If you're out of town, we ask for an inspection fee, because some people would just ask us for quotations and disappear. You've spent, that's time and money.
I know.
Yeah, so you need to be able to value that as well. Then again, we are looking for contracts, commercial spaces. Contracts really give us stability, where we can be able to station, let's say, cleaners, like at a bank, where we're paid a monthly fee. Yes, I'm very glad and happy to have joined a team of experienced business entrepreneurs that have helped me be able to refer me to spaces that probably out of BNI, it's scramble and partition, it's for fighting contracts, oh my God, bids, it's super hectic. But one thing for sure, bids will always help you be compliant, regardless whether you don't get it, but you're compliant. What you call organizing yourself, the books of accounts, you pay your taxes in time, NSSF. Right now we are compliant and we are on EGP, meaning we can also start bidding for government jobs as well. We have the capacity. I have a team of over 40 cleaners. 17 are on a payroll because they are attached to contracts, and some, of course, then the others are called upon
as needed.
Yes, as needed. We can be able to have the capacity to run at least 3 sites in a day. 3 sites in a day. Then we also have events cleaning. Events cleaning, how do we do this? The first client that I got for events cleaning was a lady that had an introduction. So she called me to do a deep cleanup after renovation. That's renovation cleaning, after renovation cleaning. So while we finished cleaning, she was like, I have a function tomorrow. I'm so sorry. Can I send you the balance tomorrow? I'm like, it's okay. She's like, now the other thing, tomorrow I have so many people, my aunties coming from the villages, the house is going to be full. I feel like my mom's maid is going to be overwhelmed. Is it possible for you to give me about 2 cleaners to help her? I'm like, that's perfectly fine. During the day, because she'll need a hand. I'm like, that's fine. She's like, can you share with me just a small quote for that? I'm like, perfectly okay. Then then she says, I can't leave my mother's house like this. Can you send me the team that came on Friday to do another deep cleanup after? What did that mean? We cleaned before, during, and after. Events cleaning, service added.
It started.
Events cleaning, service added. I should tell you, last year in December, we had over 15 events to clean at. So we were able to clean at Stanbic, 1,500 staff. I had over 20 cleaners. Yeah, we were able to clean at UETCL as well. We had about 4 weddings to clean at. And then we also did Umasho Ground when we had the BNI Expo. Umasho Ground, it was so bad. The toilets were crazy, were terrible. We cleaned them up the entire time, 24/7. You remember, when I go for a wedding or function, because of the traffic, over 400 people, 200, the toilets are not maintained. I would rather not take water because I don't want to go to the bathroom. You understand? But the kind of value that we're giving to them is like, we want to give convenience to your guests. Someone has to clean after. The person that has used the bathroom, air freshener, disinfectant, mop the floors, make sure there's tissue, make sure there's hand wash. Now, that is what we want to give to our clients, especially into the event space, so that people can feel like their functions are. You find, yes, they are ushers, but the ushers are not going to do the cleaning. The ushers, you'll call them and you'll say, I need a drink. Then they'll bring the drink and that's it. So we have the entire team that comes, cleans bottle tops, the table who needs to look clean, serviettes that have been used, remove
During
them.
the event.
During the event. Then after the event, while the tent guy leaves, the decorator is gone, we go back and we clean, we leave your space.
That's nice.
Yes. And that is a service that we are still pushing, and it is...
I hadn't seen this anywhere before, by the way.
Freshly Kleen does that. And it's a very good service. Yeah, for corporate spaces and functions as well. Corporate, you can find a company
I'm sorry for cutting you short. I actually like the idea a lot, because when you are at a conference, event, or whatever, and you have gone, served your lunch, your food, and you're finished eating, right? No one typically comes to get these plates.
Yeah.
They stay there.
Especially, you have to just look for someone, call for someone to come and do that.
And yet you're going for the afternoon session.
Exactly.
Or you need to be working in a clean
Then you're
space.
thinking, oh, I found the toilet clogged. Is there any other toilet I can use? Yeah, it's the convenience that we're selling, because the functions need maintenance, and it's supposed to be 24 hours. That's the only way, because people are using that. It's high traffic. So with the high traffic, you have to have someone stationed there. So now let's say in the tent, we can put there like 3 or 4 cleaners, one in the other corner, the other one, this one. Then in the bathrooms, there are also others. Then the other ones that we station bins. Sometimes you're like, where do I trash something?
Right.
And there's nothing. So we station bins. So they come, make sure the bins are there, empty them, clean up, and go away. So that's what we call events cleaning.
Nice.
We clean before, during, and after. And our clients have really appreciated it.
Yes, I like it.
Yes, it's a very, very good service that we've added on to, to Freshly Kleen. And we're happy. And our clients are happy. Yeah, because they've understood the value that we're selling.
You mentioned about the exterior cleaning, the facade cleaning and the aluminium cladding.
Yes.
There are buildings in town. They do have a lot of aluminium cladding. The arcades and stuff like that. They have the glass finishes on the outside. Can you go into some detail on that, especially the high-rise buildings, the multiple levels, right? How do you actually do that? I have not seen this actually being done.
Oh, thank you for the question. And this is where we're heading, because we realize that there's a gap. In facade cleaning and aluminium cladding. Most of these buildings, high-rise buildings, have quite a lot of aluminium. First example, the client that we have had to clean aluminium cladding, that was Abacus Pharmaceuticals, that is in Lugogo. Before Uma Show grounds, before Uma Show, the exhibition last year is it October? It's always in October or November. We were contacted by Abacus to clean the entire, because first and foremost, the tent where Janet Museveni was going to sit was just next to the building. And they had instructed them that the entire UMA, they have to do cleaning before. So yes, before. So when they called us, we looked at the building. It was really big and it was late. We thought we would clean it for 10 days, but we had 6 days.
So the time was short.
The time was short, yes, because they called us late. It was a last minute call. So inspection, going through security checks, now safety, escalation matrix. There's quite a lot that is involved into aluminium cladding cleaning. So what we did, one, with such projects, we have to use scaffolds for high rise. Then you have to have the right PPE for the team. Security, safety is key. Then it was so hot. Aluminium is hot. There are particular kind of gumboots that you're supposed to use that have grip. Yes. Secondly, you have to have harnesses. That's the gear that they put on to make sure they are safe while they are up. And I think it's something that I posted on my status today that we did. Then the other thing is there are particular areas where you can't put a scaffolds because of the terrain.
Yes.
So you have to use a crane. So we have all these things for hire and they're available. But either way, when you're doing that, you still have to have the expertise to make sure you understand the kind of aluminium, because there are different aluminium types. There are those that DIYs can use. You can be able to clean them with the DIYs. DIYs is they don't need much of the detergents. Yeah, it's just making sure that you clean off. It's the dust most of the time. So they don't even have much of the stains. But because the building, like Abacus itself, had particular glass panels in the middle, yeah, that were hindering us because they had, I think there was a little bit of a leakage. So inspection is also key, but inspection with a security person or a facility manager to help you understand the structure of a building so that you can quote right. Because now we needed to skip that, then they first repair, then go back. So now if you don't put that in the quotation, it still eats into your time.
True.
Yeah, but now that's the first project that we did. And we are looking for more of those projects, especially for industries, both inside, indoors and outdoors. Now that we did only outdoors and we are set to do the indoors. But because Abacus deals with medicine, so many boxes inside medicine, they needed to first clear inside. Because now when you're doing this type of cleaning, you have to be very sensitive of what the company does. If it is an arcade, well and good. But now, Abbas Pharmaceuticals, it's clearly medicine. Medicine is boxes. It's very sensitive. So you have to understand what the company does, how best you can be able to serve them now. That's different. That's why the inside, we have to first wait so that they clear a little bit. So they can be able to put all the boxes like in one corner, you clean one corner,
Then
you
they
move. Yes. So that's one for aluminium, and we've done that. We are looking for quite a number of industries, steel and tube. We can be able to serve all those because we have the right equipment and the machinery. You use a high pressure jet machine, you're going to use scaffolds, you're going to use a crane that is to help go to the higher spaces if the terrain is not good for the scaffolds. And if again, you have to make sure that the stuff is secure. Yeah.
If I had a mall
Yes, please.
or an arcade in town or a high-rise building, the concern that I would have is if someone came from high up there as an accident and dropped down and died on my premises. That's a concern that I would have. Now, you mentioned that you have cranes, you have harnesses and, non-slip boots and all this stuff, right? Which sounds good, but an accident is an accident, right?
Yes.
Do you have like employee insurance or some plans that you use to cover this?
Thank you for that question. Yes, that's a must for facade. Even before you're given a contract, you have to show the insurance package that you have. Right now, we are insured.
They ask for it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Right now, we have an insurance package with Chancery Rights. It's an insurance broker that we work with at the moment. And it has helped us, even with bids, you have to have that, especially for such high-raised building. Let's say it's a bank that has 5 floors. While you're bidding, they ask you for that because it's a requirement, because at some point you'll have to do facade. So it's very important. We started that long time ago, even before we went into facade, because you remember we do roof tile cleaning. So with roof tile as well, whether you have the PPEs and they have the harness, an accident is an accident. But how are you prepared for it? Yeah, as a team, yes, constant. Of course, we have teams that are very stubborn. Yes, teams that are very stubborn. So those teams that are very stubborn, sometimes when you don't pick up on them 24/7, they'll feel like, we've done this for the last 4 years, so really I think I should be okay. Yeah, but we have to constantly train them. This is important. It's your life. It's high-raised. Anything can happen. Because most of the time when we climb onto the roofs, some of the tiles are broken. So you step on it, you go with it. So that's why you have to have the harness and the ropes. At least you suspend. But to a point where it is really so high, anything can happen. So this insurance package helps at least to be able to take care of those bills. So a client doesn't have to be worried about the safety of the service provider that is at site. That we have it in check.
You mentioned something about getting short notices from clients.
Yes.
When they give you a program, come now or something like that. 2 questions related to this. First of all, do you find that this is increasing? Do you find that it is reducing? And how do you address it when you get a short notice?
Okay. I find it decreasing.
Okay. That's a good thing.
Yes. It used to be increasing because we used to take them up. You see, now when you take it up, someone will give you a referral and tell the other person, call them, they can come anytime.
Yes.
Because you did that.
Yes.
But the moment we started talking to clients to tell them why we can't be able to do that, they realized it. Because we're like, I'm going to share with you an emotional price range in my head. And when I come to you, I'll find it's different. And yet now your mind has been fixed to the 500K I told you. When I tell you it's 900, we are going to have some friction.
True.
So give us time. And when you realize, when people start referring you and they know how Freshly Kleen works, so they will be tending to lead you to the clients that are yours. Right now, there are clients that will call me and I know that's not my client.
Just from the way they
Exactly.
need that they
Exactly.
have. Right.
Yes. Not for anything, but because you know who your client is.
True.
Yes. By the time when you've looked at the market and you know who your client is, you know that that's the person I'm going to serve. That's the person I'm going to serve. Why? Because this person may kill my credibility. Credibility is very important because we are into a relationship with a client. We are not selling a product. We are selling a service. So when you're selling a product, you're like, okay, I've bought a phone. The only thing I would need is probably a charger if I lose it. And yeah, I'll be next to the next series. Yeah, but this is cleaning where you want feedback, you want to check on the client, find out customer review. Feedback. Do you have good reviews? When is their next cleanup? Are they happy? What should we change? When we're asking for feedback, we take whether negative, positive. We are actually good when we get the negative because it's helping us align, go back to the drawing board. What's not working? Where do we change? What do we do to serve the client best? So with that relationship, a client, if they are to refer you to their sister, to their cousin, to their neighbor, they know how you work. So these are the clients that have helped us reduce onto the calls. It will be a new client right now. When someone calls me and gives me a short notice job, I'll know that either the person who referred me to them has taken quite some time, or it's an emergency. There are those, and it sounds an emergency, and you find it's an emergency. Sharon, I wouldn't have asked you, but you see, a tap broke last night, and water is full the entire house, all my carpets. I'll know it's an emergency. Emergencies are short notices. I can be flexible, but it still depends, because now I tell them, let me come to site with machinery in my team and look at the depth of what we have to do. Then she'll say, it's okay, I don't care, just do it, because I feel like that carpets are really, really getting spoiled. Then you'll talk after. It's an emergency. But those that call emotionally and they just want to, because someone will say, you're like, okay, so when do you want this done? No, I just want to know what your prices are. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for calling, but we do not share prices like that. We have to look at what we are going to clean, then find out, then share with you a quotation, so that we don't cheat you, we don't cheat ourselves. Then some appreciate it and be like, okay, fine, whenever I'm ready, I'll call you. So even explaining to our clients to understand helps them. But there are those that adamantly just want the price to compare with other invoices that they have. We've seen that. That's why sometimes we ask for inspection fees, because clients will always waste
to weed them out.
Yes,
also.
they will waste your time because they just want to accumulate invoices and just look through. Freshly Kleen, 2.5, this one's on the high end. 1.8, hey, yeah, let's go with this one. And you were used as a yardstick. You spent a lot of time and money.
True.
Yeah, so that's how we deal with it. Right now, you have to explain to our client. You have to tell them the why. We can't share just emotional quotations and prices. The only thing that I think right now we can be able to share is a set of sofas, and that's after you share with me pictures. Yeah, set
of the sofa. So that is not the feathers, just in case.
You're right. Not the feathers. Yeah, and the velvet. Then, and also carpets, we also do that as well. Yeah. So we also want to reach out to our clients, want to give back to our clients. We are picking and dropping carpets for free.
Okay.
Yeah.
For free?
Yes.
Okay.
You have no idea the power of for free, what it does.
Right.
You see, it could be the same price, but just because I've mentioned.
For free.
For free. Someone was like, oh yeah. Even someone who had not given me a carpet would be like, okay, send someone to come pick these 4. But if you hadn't mentioned that, it would be like, I'll take them to this guy that cleans my car.
I need to get a pickup and then...
no, I'll take them to this guy that cleans my car. You know, they take them to washing bays.
Yes,
really? And then washing bays use a high pressure jet machine without vacuuming.
Right.
So when they finish using the high pressure jet machine to clean the carpet, when it's drying, the dust just comes on top of the carpet. So you find the carpet that is white is becoming cream, but it's because of the process that they use. And because the clients would feel like it's a quick fix, put them in the boot, I'll take them.
How do you address that, the dust thing? Do you have like a enclosed place or something?
No. It's because we first vacuum the carpet and remove the dust. Then we scrub it. And yet someone at the washing bay just
Hits it with the
hangs
water
it
straight, yes.
and he hits it with the water straight. So while he hits it with the water straight, while it's drying, because of the force of hitting it, the other dust comes and settles on top of the carpet. So it just changes color and it looks like something that has been not cleaned so well.
True.
Yeah. So we were advising clients, we're like, okay, so someone says, at the washing bay, it's 40K. That's not my client because they don't understand the value of their carpets. So that's how you differentiate your clients, because for them, and yet later they'll still come back to you. So what do I do? My carpet is like this. You tell them, okay, I think it's the way they've been cleaning. Can't you see the washing bay, guys? So they come back. They still come back. Yeah, sometimes we also rectify. Okay, we had a client that was supposed to give us business. We sent a quotation, started asking, every client will ask, do you have machinery? What do you use for this? What do you use for that? We didn't know that this real estate person was asking such questions so that he can get Jua Kali guys to do the job. So I was like, okay. And then remember, you can hire machines. So I think he hired machines, brought boys, cleaned. They didn't do a good job.
Wow.
So the client had contacted someone to contact me to share a quotation. He was not around. It was a diaspora client, and he had asked that I work with the real estate. Okay, the person that was managing, who was the brother. So the brother is the one who went ahead and got other cleaners, paraded as cleaning freshly clean, and they did the job. The gentleman comes and he's like, this is not freshly clean. Calls me and is like, what happened? I'm like, what do you mean what happened? Your brother ghosted me. He didn't get back to me.
Right.
It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, no, I didn't clean your site. I was like, what? So we realized that the other person did that. They used to do that quite a lot. So that's why I'm very lucky to belong to BNI, where someone is going to give you a referral directly.
That is clean.
That is clean and doesn't have all that. And that's where I got all my contracts. So we had to go back and clean that work. Believe you me, we didn't change the quotation. We were just cleaning up because it was just work that was done by unprofessional people. They didn't know probably how to use the machines. All glasses had skids and it wasn't a good job done. So most people think anyone can do cleaning. No. Cleaning is supposed to be passion. You have to love what you do. Cleaning is an art you have to learn every day because the market is changing. And if you ask me whether there's competition, domestic cleaning, there's no competition. The market is too big. Everybody has a share.
Wow.
You just have to position yourself. Where do you want to see freshly clean? Who are your clients? What sets you apart? Is it the relationship that you have with your clients? Is it the customer-centric, Is this the preposition that you have in the market? Is it the machinery? Is it feedback? Is it the technique? There's someone who will say, because we're so many. In BNI now, we are 12 cleaners and we are all in one space and we still get business. Wow. And we work together. Wow. It's amazing.
And refer each other.
Exactly, and refer each other. Work together is key. Because I will be overwhelmed. There's a time I had 12 apartment blocks to clean in 4 days. I couldn't make miracles happen.
Of course.
But I had to work with another cleaner. And this cleaner understood because I know they're in BNI and they understand that credibility is important. I just had to put the LPO on the table and I'm like, this is it. It's 12 million. 6. Take 6 apartments. I take 6 apartments. Let's push. Client didn't know whether there were 2 cleaners at the site, but we delivered. But away from other cleaners that you can be able to trust, how are you going to deliver? You jump and you're like, okay, what do I do? Bring in other local staff that's not going to help you, but you have a team that you can be able to work with. Right now with that cleaning, we have what we call the BNI cleaning platform, where all of us, the cleaners, have like a group page where we talk about, guys, I'm dealing with staff. How do you deal with staff? We have the same issues in the market. We have the same challenges. Right now, I'll tell you that the biggest challenge we have is labor and machinery. Machinery, not that the machines are not there, but the right technicians to be able to service these machines is the problem for us that we're facing. Yes.
I'll surprise you. This issue of service is one that repeatedly comes up on this show.
Yes.
The CEOs or people that I talk to, mention this.
It's
It's
insane.
not about the machine being available or them getting the machine, but servicing the machine.
Servicing and maintenance. I will tell you, it starts with the company itself. Yeah, because for you to have a machine breaking down 24/7, it's how it's handled. Yeah, coming direct from you. You'll find someone who has a car, but they are not frequenting. It's either they're really handling it the right way, they give it the right thing, or they have a good mechanic.
True.
Or he's just a good driver. For machines, we later, as a company, decided there are only 4 to 5 people right now at Freshly Kleen that can run machines. Not everybody. Because when they go into different hands, maintenance is key for machines because it's the heart of the business. We cannot do anything professional when you don't have the machines. Machines do 70%, and maybe bare hands of a cleaner can do only 30. Cleaning the floor of this entire house can take an hour with a machine and would take 5 hours with cleaners. So machines really play a big role in cleaning. But you see, if we don't have the right personnel to be able to help us fix a machine if it has power issues, fix a machine if it is just a spare part, where they will tell you we need to send the spare part from China or India or wherever it is, and then you have to wait for 2 weeks. That's why right now I'll tell you I have 3 sets of each machine.
Wow.
Because you need backup. Yes. Yeah, and then it's the biggest challenge that we have, because even on the group, everyone is saying, guys, I need to hire this machine. My machine is at the garage, it's not yet out. And you're like, for 4 days?
Wow.
What's happening? But they're also not doing a good job. They're not helping us. So you find that the machines break down so easily because the people fixing them are not doing a good job. Then again, labor.
Reliable labor. Consistent, reliable labor.
Yes. We have, for us at Freshly Kleen, we have tried to change the system so that we hire at least a particular level, so that now we go away from the really illiterate. Because I remember there's a time 2 years ago, while I was still growing, I sent a team to a client. It was a white guy, and he asked a cleaner a question and she couldn't express herself. This gentleman was so frustrated, and it's the only feedback he gave me. And because we are big on feedback, we're like, okay.
We adjusted.
We had to adjust. And yet you're going to find that person is talking about, she's like your best cleaner. But she can't express herself.
True.
Yeah, maybe she can't even sign.
And because of that, she cannot proceed at that site.
Yes, she can't, because you're going to get several clients who are going, yes, there's a supervisor, but you can find someone who is cleaning the kitchen and you're like, okay, so please, would you be able to do this? And she can't even explain. Or maybe you're telling her, please tell your team that please exclude this from the cleaning, don't touch it. And you come back and they did that. You told someone who could not even understand what you said. So we had to go back to the drawing board. Believe you me, I've had to hire and fire until you get to a particular level where you're like, okay, I think now this is the team that really understands. It was a growing concern. It's still a growing concern because the service industry in Uganda is still struggling, and we are all in there. We are trying our level best, but still you're going to train someone regardless. The training we do the training. It's like I was a banker before cleaning. And they used to take us through training, workshops, training 24/7, like 3 times in a quarter. But they never cared whether you're leaving tomorrow or not. But as so long as you're at the bank, you have to be trained. You have to understand the values, and the policies of the company, what we stand for. So I think that's something that we need to employ, because most of the cleaners that I encounter say that you train these guys, they go away. Yeah, but as so long as they're Freshly Kleen, they need to be trained, they need to understand. Because when you come from a cleaning company and you're looking for a job here, you're not going to start telling me that cleaning company X, this is how we do it. No, because we have our values as Freshly Kleen and how we do what we do. For us, feedback is key. For us, delivery is key. We are customer centric because we started from homes and our biggest clients are homes. We are now transitioning to go commercial because we feel we have mastered
the home
homes and the hardest part. So now we can go to the soft landing. But then you realize that training is constant regardless. Then again, when you have a system and you fasten it, for me, anything to do with integrity and theft, the company knows, everybody knows, you'll go. Yeah. We don't care whether you're the best cleaner ever. Because if someone is not, because we're sensitive, we're in people's homes.
True.
Yeah, regardless of how you're the best cleaner there is, but because the value, you're breaking that value, and a client is going to be comfortable allowing us into their space because they know I can trust Freshly Kleen. Right now, I can step away from my business and it runs. Why? Because the system is working, regardless of what level you are at that system. But even if it is the smallest unit of the system, is it working?
True.
How best can you fasten it? Whenever there's a gap, go back. Believe you me, I've had to let 3 supervisors go. And these are the same people that will go back and call client Herbert and tell them how Freshly Kleen is expensive for him. He can give them the service at a cheaper rate. And because they forget that we have a relationship with our clients, the client will call and say, your supervisor called me.
And said something
them.
weird.
Yeah.
Yes, what's going on?
Then because you let them, you're like, oh my God, okay, block them. We let them go. They are no longer with us. And they're the same people now trying to run our businesses out there. Same people that are trying to put our pictures or videos out there, social media. They're parading them, they're using them. But regardless, if someone doesn't fit, to attract, because they think they can be able to do it. Yeah, so labor and machinery is our biggest issue at the moment. Sometimes people don't look at the gaps in the market. I feel like if we got a very good mechanic who understands machines and then does door-to-door service. My problem is we are at site, we are in Garuga, and the guy is calling us saying the machine is faulty, and they tell you to transport it.
So if the mechanic could come to you,
Thank you,
with his truck, utility van, and address the issue there, test it.
Thank you. I have security, because sometimes you take the machine there and it comes back with parts that are not there.
True.
You understand? Then you take it there, it spends 4 days, and you're wondering, what are you doing? You told me the spare part is available. I sent you the money, please purchase it. Then they're giving you story.
You also talked about hospital cleaning.
Yes.
You talked about abacus and others. So do you do specialized cleaning?
Yes.
Like in hospital, they have human, waste and other areas, whatever. Can you talk about that?
Yes, for specialized cleaning, especially for hospitals, clinics, it's different, and that team is trained differently because you're dealing with human waste, you're dealing with blood, you're dealing with needles. The hazards are there, so it's a different type of training that you have to do. It's extra sensitive. You have to be very careful, and this is where we introduce steaming. Yeah, there's a machine that we use to steam. So we have to disinfect, and we have to steam the toilets, the sinks, so that it feels like it's different from this other cleaning because it's special. A hospital is treated special because in homes you may not find us using quite a lot of Dettol, but for a hospital it's like a must. You may not have liquid soap, but you have to have Dettol for a hospital. Why? Because it's special. A clinic as well. We also do that for schools, especially for kindergarten, for the children that are quite little, because it's sensitive. They're always picking stuff, so you need the area to be very disinfected most of the times. So we do specialized cleaning for such hospitals, clinics, kindergarten, schools. We do quite a lot, but then the training is also different for the cleaners. They need to understand that such a space is treated different from a usual home. An office is different, and you need to be able, and you need to be aware of how to dispose of, because most of the times they give you cleaning and disposal. But when a client says we already have someone that is doing the disposal, you take it away and just do the cleaning. Every client is unique.
There is a question I think I should have asked at the very beginning, and I don't know how I didn't get to ask this question.
It's okay.
So clearly you have the experience, the customers, the work, you speak very passionately. Thank you. You're doing a good job. For our viewers, go back to the beginning. You said you were a banker, right? How did you transition from banking into cleaning? What was that driving force? How did you get into cleaning? Give us the whole story, because
very
now,
interesting. Very, very interesting. So, not on a bank. When I left the bank, I went to South Sudan.
Okay.
From South Sudan, came back, worked with an organization called Obulamu, FHI 360. Family Health International.
Okay.
Yeah. So while I was with an organization, we used to travel quite a lot because with organization, we want to go to the field, and marriage happens, you have to be home. Then again, you're traveling. It was quite hectic running a home. Then you have to be away in the field. So later, the only thing I knew was employment. I had worked all my life. I'd never been an entrepreneur. I did not know what to do. So quickly I started thinking, so if I'm to be an entrepreneur, what am I going to do? Oh, believe you me, out there, when you mention such a statement, you have like 1,000 people in your ears.
Suggesting.
Oh my
Yes,
God, you
yes.
can run a salon, you can go to China, bring bags and clothes, we can sell this, you can make a salon, let's do, real estate, let's do, quite a lot. But for me, it wasn't what was working. It wasn't what the market is showing. You can run the statistics and find out what are the profitable businesses in Kampala, and AI will bring you all the statistics, but that wasn't the point. The point was I needed to do something that I felt I was passionate about, something that I knew that even in the stages of business growth, that stage of 3 years where it's either going to break you or make you, I knew I would still go through it. Even going through COVID, the fact that I knew that this is a business I was going to stand for, I was going to be patient to make it, I had the passion. Honestly, for me, when I was joining this business, it was passion. The passion was bigger than even making the money. Because one, I have always had an OCD. I like things the way they are supposed to be. So, yeah. So most people, when someone talked about how about cleaning, but because cleaning companies were not the kind of business that was sounding out there, I was like, okay, so how do the cleaning companies work? It took me quite like a month or two to do my market research to find out, because most of the cleaners were into the contracts. And the contracts, there's no match. There are cleaners in there. That's it. Yeah, you don't see much of the homes of a cleaning company. You see a van passing by, it's a cleaning company going. Honestly, 7 years ago, it wasn't there. So I was trying to understand, so how are cleaning companies operating in Uganda? Is it a viable business? What am I supposed to know before entering this business? The first person I met who was supposed to help me looked at me as competition. I was demoralized. I was like, okay, it's all right. I got the second person that held my hand and told me what I needed to know. And this is a person who said, I would advise you go domestic because commercial right now, you're not ready. You need the experience. You're just a startup.
Was a good person.
Yes, was a very good person. And such people are there that will help you, hold your hand, tell you this is what it is. As the truth of the matter is, like, the competition out here is insane. You're going to break yourself. You can't jump from 0 to 100. You need to have a journey. Yeah, so that's how the first year I was like, okay, let me do it smart. So I registered the company immediately. I wanted to just prove to myself that this is something that I want to do. I didn't want to start off like a briefcase kind of business where I'll say, okay, let me start a little bit. But the truth is I did not have the money to invest into the machinery. So this same person told me you can hire machines. So I was like, oh, that's so cool. Okay. So now I can roll out and see, put your foot in there, see, is it working? But I had too much passion that the first jobs that I did, I didn't care whether I quoted right or not. Because remember, I was learning on the job, so I felt like it was experience for me.
How were you getting the customers?
Through family and friends.
Really?
Yes, and how about after the family and friends are done, that's when you realize that, okay, this is all of the connections that I have and you're done and dusted. So I was like, okay, so what do I do? I even had to go print brochures and started moving gate on gate, throwing my brochures everywhere.
Looking for the domestic client.
Looking for the domestic clients. Then I didn't even care whether it was domestic.
How did you feel, by the way, coming from the bank and now you're moving door to door, throwing brochures?
Right now.
Maybe maids are the ones.
Right now.
No, at that time.
At that time? Okay, there's several times when I wanted to quit.
Of course.
Yeah, because when you're an overachiever, in your mind, you're like, I've started, I'm going to get so many clients by tomorrow. So you have expectations that are beyond what is presented to you. So every day, because you don't get close to your expectation, you feel like you're broken. And then because you have you're looking at Herbert that has been in business for the last 15 years and they're killing it. And you're like, why can't I? But you don't know how long they have been able to build that brand and where they have come from. You don't know their story. But here you are, you've just 3 months in the business and you feel like you need to jump from 0 to 100. That's the problem that most of the times we have as startup, because you want, like the quick wins. Tomorrow I get this. The next day I get a contract. The next day I have 5 clients in my inbox. That's not how it works. And now remember, for me, I didn't have any knowledge. I didn't go to any cleaning school. It's not even there in Uganda. I don't know how the machines work. I don't even have any cleaner. I'm just trying to make them understand what we're going to do while I learn on the job, understanding how to do what I want to do. So for me, it was really hard. But when I made that 1 year, which was the toughest ever in business, I came across. It was very tough. At some point, I was like, I should have put in leave without pay. I shouldn't have quit. So it dawned on me that this is it. We're not turning back. And then I kept on telling myself, I can't be a failure. I can't, because I fear failure. So that's why I push myself so hard. As like, I can't fail. There's something that I can do. So that's why I started brochures. I was like, now where am I going to get a marketing strategy? Do I have the money for a billboard or even an advert on TV or radio? How much money is that if I fail to buy machines? But I was like, you know what? I need to understand whether this business is viable for me. So quickly, I stumbled onto BNI. So that's why I call myself the BNI child, because I've seen my business grow through BNI. Yeah, for all the stages of growth, it has been BNI. To understanding how to be an entrepreneur. How about if there's anyone should respect as an entrepreneur?
Of course.
Let me tell you, it takes a village to run a company. Take it 1 month, 2 months, 6 months, and you're still standing, regardless whether you are by the shops and you're selling tomatoes and onions. The fact that you know that your tomatoes are not going to roll, at least you're going to do something about it. You need to refrigerate them so that tomorrow the next client finds them. You're not sure whether the bananas are going to be bought. It is not easy. But while I stumbled onto BNI, it's a group of credible business entrepreneurs that are so experienced. It was BNI phoned me at that point where I needed it. You know, when you're at the crossroads and someone says, no, it is north. This is where you're supposed to go. I didn't have any marketing strategy. I did not have connections. I had exhausted all my connections. And the competition out there was too much that I couldn't compete. Because you can't compete. You don't even have machines. So what are you saying? So even if someone says, okay, let me give you a contract, you're not even compliant. You haven't even paid any tax for this 1 year. You haven't even paid taxes. So you tell me. So BNI held my hand, told me it's okay. And yet the group of entrepreneurs that I joined was the first ever that had experienced business entrepreneurs that had run businesses for 5 years, 10 years, 15, 20.
They were speaking the real truth.
Thank you. Guidance. And now for me, I'm 1 year and I'm just placed in that ocean. And I'm like, okay, so this is who I am. This is what I want to do. Please help me.
Just like that?
Yes. And the only question they asked is like, how can we help you? Do you understand what that question means of how can I help you? Out there, when we are seated with family, friends, the only thing they say, man, we don't have money. The system is how we are broke. There's nothing happening. Yeah, we literally ranting, and that's it. And you do what you're doing and you go away. BNI is this place where someone is going to ask you, what are your goals? What do you want? Like, okay, I'm looking for apartments. We're looking for real estate managers. We want to be able to. We are looking for at least every year, if you could close 50 homes, deep cleaning. Okay. So how are you ready? So you're like, oh, okay. How am I ready?
So you have to look inside.
Exactly. Now go back and go like, for me to be ready, I need to do this. And you cannot be able, someone will not give you something you chew and you can't swallow.
Of course.
You need to be ready. An opportunity meets those that are ready. So BNI helps you prepare yourself. Because you are into this space of opportunities and people are presenting all these opportunities on the table for you. But you see, if Herbert is going to refer me to someone, I can't disappoint Herbert because I'm tapping onto his credibility. So I need to be credible enough to make him look good.
True.
So it pushes you, like personally, growth. You grow, your mindset changes because you're into a space of entrepreneurs that are speaking growth, are speaking opportunities, are speaking how do you do this, are speaking how can I help you, what do you need in your business. You find yourself aligning with the system. You find yourself organizing yourself. That's when I was like, okay, now I need to buy machines. Maybe without BNI, I wouldn't have thought of buying machines. I was like, anyway, I'm comfortable hiring, so why should I buy machines? Yet it looks cheaper. BNI told me, organize yourself. If we're going to be able to help you grow your business, tell us who your client is. Be specific. What do you want? You can't say, I'm looking for anyone. Who is anyone? You understand? Yeah. So every day you leave a room of incredible people thinking different. Your mindset changes to how you want to run your business, where you see your business. Just only changing my logo to look a particular way, I felt like, yes, this is clean. My logo that I had couldn't, because someone came to me and said, does your logo speak to your clients? I'm like, well, I looked at the logo.
Can you
It was
explain?
challenging. I was like, yeah. For me, I didn't feel like that was important. You're talking about a logo, and for me, I'm thinking, I need clients first before I think about the logo. But it's like, no, it's everything about business, how you present yourself.
True.
If you're giving someone a business card, what do they think before they read Freshly Kleen? Because my logo spoke construction, it spoke about maintenance of what, you understand? So I went back to the drawing board and I was like, okay, I think I need to organize myself. Then they told me, you're an overachiever, calm down, pace yourself. Don't be pressured to see people in business for 15 years. They have their stories and journey. So while you visit someone in their business and they've been in business for the last 15 years and they give you their story, you feel like you relate because they were where you were at a certain point. So you go back home thinking, if Herbert can do it, I can do it, because it's a space of credible business, like-minded, entrepreneurs that have gone through all the stages of a business and growth, where they'll tell you, now when you're starting from homes, one home after the other. So how are you going to be able to tap into one client? If a client has given you chairs to clean, do they have carpets? You're like, yes. Do they have windows? Yes. Why aren't they giving you more business? You're like, yeah, okay.
By the way.
You understand? It's even more than a referral.
Yes.
Because it's opening up your mind to be able to move towards your goal. My goal is to get 50 homes, because there's a time I had that as a goal as I was growing. So BNI told me, if you want 50 homes in a month, what are you going to do about it? What is your strategy? For us, when you give us the strategy, we work towards getting you the referrals, because you already have a strategy. It's like, fine, to be able to tap into these homes, the 50 homes, this is my strategy. We're going to preach value. If a client is going to understand the value that we're giving to them, they are locked in. Feedback, making sure we execute. Do we have the machinery? Are the teams aligned? Do we have a system? What do we do? So because I had that particular team that I cannot disappoint, I kept on pushing myself. But I can imagine myself without BNI, I would have been that person who was like, business is hard. I don't know what to do. The marketing strategy has failed. What do I do? So I would have had a pity party on myself. But because I had people behind me who would push me, who cared about my business. How are you this week? Have you closed? Have you called Herbert? Did he get back to you? What do we do? Okay, Friday, come I take you to Herbert. That's not your brother. It's not even your father. But they care about your business to make sure you achieve. And they are happy about your growth. Trust me, the day I bought machines, it was like a celebration in my chapter. Freshly Kleen has bought machines. Like, do you know where we have come from? It's a win. You understand? We have closed the 50 homes. How cool is that? Remember when we set that goal? Done. You tick that box. So I feel like my growth has been so authentic that I've passed through all the stages of growth. But for me, honestly, that's my journey. That's where I started from, to buying machines. From the organization to starting my business to hiring. From hiring, bought my first set of machines. It was another roller coaster. I did not know how to operate them. Maintenance was crazy. I needed to back them up. I needed to buy a generator. Right now, the company has a standby generator. We come to your premises right now. We start cleaning chairs. Kampala Electricity will leave you by the streets. with no light. So immediately power goes off. What happens? You have to be that company that is solution based. The client is going to go like, okay, so now what?
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Generator.
Yes, and the generator is that important that for us, whether the client says the house is ready but it's not powered, no problem. We shall power it and we shall clean. We have issues with water. I have like 4 water truck guys in my inbox that I can call anytime and they'll bring 1,500 liters of water and we shall be at site and we shall work. Your pressure of the water is very low. We have a pressure converter that will convert the pressure to what we want. So all those are solutions that we derive to make sure that it's.
And when you do the inspection, you're able to see what you'll need,
Exactly.
and then you can bring these
Exactly. Now I'll even advise the clients, like, you're pumping water, so that means it won't be able to boost the pressure that we need for the pressure jet. So that means this will not work for us. Now imagine if we hadn't inspected. You come and you look very unprofessional, not prepared. You're just there. So a client is frustrated. What do you mean? So what do you do? So she's frustrated. But whenever they find out that you're solution based, because that client who made me buy a generator we had a client, my team was working, cleaning chairs, power goes, and then they called me, they're like, power has gone. I'm like, okay, so how long has it been? 10 minutes. Share with me the color of the chairs. They were cream. I was like, no. This is a recipe for disaster. We can't let water trench into those chairs, even if it is 15 minutes or 30. I had to hire a generator nearby. It was very costly.
And you learned your lesson.
I learned my lesson. That night, the generator was in the morning. I had to buy a generator. Why? Because I knew that was going to happen again. It's Uganda. Anytime power goes off, and you're not prepared. Not every client has a generator. And secondly, as a cleaning company, you need to have a generator. It's important. So we got a generator and we were able to clean. And the client was very excited. The second client, the feedback they gave us was, I've not seen a cleaning company that moves with a generator.
True.
No, because it was the same area. It was the same area that always doesn't have power, because now we map up areas. There are particular areas we know that water is not good.
Really?
But because we've been there, we can't be that blinded. Put it in. If power is there, well and good. But it still doesn't make sense if you know that area has power issues. You leave the generator behind and then you wait for power to go. Then again,
look for one to hire.
Doesn't make sense. Yeah. So as the business grew, you have to grow with the going trends. There are demands that it makes, even if they're not into your package of goals. You need to know that right now a generator is important, and it set us apart. Right now, people hire a generator from us. But for us, we find it very convenient. Yeah. So that is us.
When you look at all the challenges, which are many,
Yes.
all the challenges that you've had, which one would you say has been the most unique challenge that you've had when you are called to clean? And
yes, the unique challenge that we had was being able to work with other service providers.
Really?
Yes. Because now for that big job that we had with aluminium, it was my first time to do that job with aluminium. It was really high raised. It was just aluminium. We had done glass, 3 floors, 4 floors, 5, but this was purely aluminium. I needed to have about 4 pressure jets at site. I needed to have a team of 20 cleaners every day for 6 days. I needed to have more PPE, because remember, my team was still small. Then I needed to work with this other service provider. Then I needed to supervise them as well, because we don't have the same values. And the client knows Freshly Kleen. Now you have another team that you've brought in. You need to be able to supervise them. Then this is the first time I was doing it as I was growing. So first time I was doing aluminium. So one, it was very expensive, which I didn't prepare.
For you?
Yes, I didn't prepare because it's the first time I was encountering it.
True.
Secondly, it was a short notice.
True.
Essentially, I would have done that job for 9 or 10 days, but we had 6 days. Meaning the team that I thought would be 15, we had to push them to 20 every day. It was scorching hot that the aluminium, they would pour water and it dries immediately with the soap, everything. So we had to now go back to the drawing board, get more gloves that were high, like really heavy duty. That's another cost. So, but then when this challenge was brought onto me, I knew for me to be able to master, I have to go through it.
Yes.
So meaning I wasn't looking at what is my profit margin. for me, it was the experience and how do I execute this so that the client is happy. But right now, I should tell you with aluminium, I feel like it's the easiest thing to do. Aluminium is actually easier to clean than glass. Yes, but because it was a very big building, it was so high, we didn't have enough PPEs. It was the first time we were doing it. Then working with another cleaning company where you don't have the same goals, you don't align the same values. It was very hard to be able to train them. And then the company had policies that were not allowing us to do night shift. So when you have a client that doesn't allow you to do night shift, and then night shift is when it's going to be cool, you can do quite a lot. They're like, you start at 7, by 5, everyone goes away, and you're thinking, okay, how much will the team do? When it's so hot, you even have to tell the team to first hold on because you're thinking about them. Yeah, so it was one of the most challenging, but still, it pushed me to when you push yourself to limits that you're like, I think I can do this, even besides whether you have the experience. And because that client has taken a chance on you, you still can't mess it up. So it's one of those that was really, really challenging, but I really feel up to now that it boosted my visibility.
You said you were working with another service provider?
Yes, I was working with another service provider to be able to execute because I didn't have the capacity then, because it was my first ever. So it was really hard to be able to have 2 teams and then supervising the other team that you don't work with. Their values are totally different from yours. And then you don't want to show that to a client. You have to be one team. Yes. You have to be in sync, making sure they are right on time, they are early, they come with the right PPEs. The cleaners sometimes can be really stubborn. They don't want to put on gloves. When they're doing inspections in the morning, you can't miss any. There's nothing, no spot you will miss. Every day you had to check in. So checking in, this person says, I didn't bring the gumboots. It was insane. But we executed, the client is happy. And we have had 2 other projects from him. Since.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's one of those that was really, really complex, but we executed. Yeah, so that was one.
You have one that excited you, was a challenge, but you were very happy?
One that was excited us was a hotel that contracted us. I know sometimes the short notices put you at the edge, but you're still in a way. I think it's the adrenaline that it comes with and the pressure. Yeah, talks of how people can work under too much pressure. I think that is Freshly Kleen. Because this client called us because they had an extension block where they were renovating, but because the service providers had delayed, they had clients, total clients that were coming in to occupy all the 38, there were 32 rooms. They gave us 2 nights
to clean 32 rooms.
32 rooms. Please note, the rooms were furnished. They left everything inside. There's where someone tells you.
Hold on, and usually the hotel has its own staff to clean all these rooms. So you might find that maybe if there are 3 floors, you might find that on each floor you have maybe like 3 or 4 cleaners cleaning all those 30-something rooms.
No, but they were contracting a cleaning company because remember, they also have their daily cleaning. This was another wing. So they had contracted just a cleaning company to do that. The hotel rooms were furnished. Everything was left in while they were renovating, meaning the mattress has to be cleaned.
Right.
Everything, the sofas, the ones that put in the rooms were left in. So we had the night shift, 2 night shifts. What excited me was I put my 2 supervisors. When you put someone on a side, you're like, okay, guys, this is what we have. Can we sit down and prepare for it? How are we going to execute? Sometimes it's good. The challenge. Yeah, sometimes it's good when you put your team leads, but as you work together, you tell them, what do we have? So what are we going to do? So I started bringing in ideas. We can do this.
These are your top 2 killers.
Yeah. Okay. No, they are going to run the show. And sometimes they feel really empowered. It's a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah, of course, you at the back of your mind, but you want to see what they think. So you're like, so guys, how do we execute this? They're like, okay. One started saying, okay, now, can we do night shift and day shift? I'm like, no, there's no day shift.
There's no night shift.
It's only night.
Oh, it's only night?
Yes, it's only night. It's like, okay. Then the other person said, let's split the teams. We assigned 2 cleaners per room. We said 2 cleaners through the night have to make sure they clean 4 rooms in the night. And we gave them that. When we spoke to them, we told them that was a challenge. And we told them, whoever is going to exceed that, there was a reward. You have no idea. I was a little scared. I was like, these ones that I've put on a reward, and they're going to break everything in there, in terms of we need to execute. Believe you me, we executed in record time. The second night, the team finished like at 6 a.m. because now the other housekeepers were ready now to lay the beds. Because now that the guests were checking in that morning. I was at the hotel the first night up to like about 2 a.m. The second night, I left at 4. But I left at 4 and my heart was so full. Because by the time I left, I could tell there were like only 6 rooms remaining. The team is happy. The hotel was really good.
Energy is
they
good.
gave them, the energy is good. They were giving them meals at night. During the night, they would bring them tea. The team was happy. The job was being done well. Then the first inspection that the hotel made for the first bunch, the first night, they were happy. Trust me, I was at the edge, but it was one that was really, really. I didn't even have to use another company. I didn't. Yeah, it was clearly
for support.
No. It was clearly Freshly Kleen, and it was very exciting. And the particular point was so nerve breaking because I was like, okay, now this one is going to test us, but let's do it. If these people have, because this person said, yeah, 2 nights. I first looked at this gentleman. I said, do you know what you mean? That's 32 rooms, 2 nights. Like, yeah, you can do it. I'm like, wow. If this person believes in me, I should be able to believe in my team. So the supervisors were very excited. They felt like it was their project. Yeah.
I hope you do it now also.
Yes.
Whenever you get projects, you put it on the table.
Yeah, we put it on the table and we discuss. And I tell them, so how do we deal with this house is 3 stories? It's like, it's okay. Then they'll tell you, we need a team of 6 up, then the other one's down. Then they'll figure it. And I'm like, okay. So I let them. Yeah, because they feel more empowered.
That's why you said when you're away, the thing will continue running.
Yeah, it will continue running. Yeah, they also feel like you're part of them. True. Sometimes even me showing up at night.
True.
You're like, okay. And for them, that my kind of stuff, always appreciate it when you're there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then you tell them, hey, but who did this room? Hey, it's sparkling. Hey, she wants to go like, yeah, that was me. Then they see, and then a few things, how to deal with labor. There are small things that really get them motivated and they'll do what they're supposed to do. Calm down. You can't always be the CEO. Calm down and make them feel like, yeah, this is something that we do every day. They really work hard and you have to reward them. They are the people behind running the show. I'm here, but there's a site happening and I'm sure my phone is not buzzing because everything is going on right. So I can be able to do other things. And there's a team that runs and make us look good and make the company look good. So you have to appreciate them and also recognize that it is a skill where they're using their hands. Sometimes they run the machines. At the end of the day, there's nothing you can do without your team.
True.
Yeah, so when you have a good team, you have to pour into them, you have to train them, right now my team has a circle.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And they're so excited about it. It's something that we did, apart from salary, what else would you do to motivate them? And in a way, I realize it keeps them there. Yeah, they will hardly move. Haka money. Will she leave it behind?
True.
Yeah, so there's a circle and the company gives them something. Whenever it's like a merry-go-round.
Right.
So whenever it's Herbert's time, the company,
give it top up.
Yeah, the company tops up and they're very, very excited about it. We make sure that they're very comfortable while they're at work because they use quite a lot of energy. Lunch is, if it's out 1, it's out 1. And they don't eat portion bins. They really have to eat nice food.
Wow.
Because they work hard. They're paid on time, whether they are casuals or at the end of the month. Yes, they're given insurance. Very small package, but it makes a difference for them. The ones that do facade, aluminium, they also get that package as well. Even if a glass has cut them already, there's that insurance immediately, and we use it, and it has really helped us. Yeah, staff, we are trying our level best to make them comfortable so that they can be able to understand and align with the goals. But still, those that really don't align and they have up to now failed to understand the goals and the values of the company, we still let them go because you can't have one bad egg
spoiling the whole thing.
Yes, spoiling the whole thing. But yeah, that was really, really exciting. The hotel job was really exciting and I had, my heart was full. Yes.
When, in terms of future plans, because I've had your growth trajectory, very intriguing, interesting. In terms of future plans, where do you see your company and yourself in the coming years?
So in terms of growth, we we have right now the experience to be able to go commercial. So we are looking to add on some more contracts onto our portfolio this year. Then again, we also, in the spirit of giving back, we've had so many people that have come to Freshly Kleen for consultation that would like to start up cleaning companies. This is where we have been. Someone held our hand. So I've had, I think, to take a few people, like 3 or 4 through training. I have so many in my inbox that ask if they can be able to come. Yes, the training is there. We can be able to share what we have gone through and what the market is, because the market is so big. There's no competition. Everyone has a share. How many homes do we have in Uganda? Just only. Right now, we are also even going, we are going regional. We have been to Mbari, we have been to Mbarara, we have been to Jinja, we have been to Fort Portal. And if we can extend to even the regions, how about just Kampala itself? So training as a hub in Freshly Kleen is to clearly give back to the community. And of course, there's so many people in my inboxes that are looking for job opportunities. I don't chase them away. I want to listen to their stories. I normally bring them and I tell them, so what are you looking for? Some realize just because they're looking for a job, they're not in the right space. Maybe she was looking for another job, but when she saw there was an opportunity, some just look at your social media pages and they call you for just jobs. I want to talk to them, understand what are their fears, what are their problems. Some we keep them, yes, some we don't, because probably that's not where they would want to be. But like this, we want to leave them with an impact. So having Freshly Kleen as a training hub, one is to be able to give back to the society. Anybody that would really feel like they have passion for cleaning, come to us. We are able to help. There's a colleague of mine who does cleaning as well, and she's I think training cleaners, I think next week or 2 days from now, which is also something to give back, and it's in good spirit, because that's where we have been. Everyone, it's been growth, and because I know that there's no cleaning school even up to now, so I only had to lean to us that are into the spaces, at least for the last 6 years, what we have done and what we have achieved. We can be able to share what we have. Yeah, so that's where we look at Freshly Kleen, in the near future.
You mentioned something, it skipped my mind, something about a client that contacted you who was in the diaspora for cleaning their things. Yeah. Do you also help diaspora clients if they contact you to go to their sites or whatever to do this?
We do quite a lot, and there are so many. In BNI, I belong to a power team. Now, a power team is a group of entrepreneurs that share clients. So you find like the biggest power team that we have is events. Find a decorator, a baker, person that does tents, someone that has gowns. They're all in one power team because they will serve one groom and a bride. So for me, I belong to the construction power team. Now, the construction power team is comprised of a fumigator, a cleaner, someone that does welding, someone that does painting, someone that does a contractor, real estate person, someone who has a hardware. So there's a gentleman who normally has so many diaspora clients. So while he takes up their projects, at the end, I'm the one that finishes the work. We clean after they're done and they come back to their homes. So we want to help diaspora people so that they understand that there is a group of entrepreneurs that are very credible, that they can trust even when they are away. Because I know it's really hard for you not to be in the country, and you need to trust a service provider. Then there are also some that don't live here, come back every quarter, come back once a year, but they have caretakers taking care of the homes. So these caretakers will call you and tell you they're coming back in 3 days, or they will call you and they tell you, next weekend we shall be back. Please prepare to clean the house before coming. So when they are leaving, we also clean. When they're coming back, we also clean. And some go ahead and also give us the maintenance rights. Then we draw a cleaning plan for them and they maintain their spaces. Because some don't have families that live in here. They work away, but they have homes here because they're Ugandans. Yeah, so we also support them quite a lot.
That's nice. The cleaning plan would be like a subscription plan, right?
Yes, whereas a client will, the cleaning plan is where a client says, can we do it every quarter? Some would say every month, and that means you can sign a contract for a year. They can be able to even pay you annually. Yeah, upfront actually, so that you just go and just clean.
So for someone who is trying to get into this industry, or even who is starting any other industry, what advice would you have for them?
Wow, that's a good question. It was quite hard joining the industry not having someone to hold your hand. And yet, unless the person coming in to start this business has been to the Western culture where there are cleaning modules, but without the cleaning modules, and they want to start this business here, they need to understand that it's a learning curve. That's one. They need to be ready to learn on the job. They need to have a positive mindset that is beyond, for especially domestic, unless they're going to start with commercial, which is high likely very tough because it calls for quite a lot of experience. You need to be compliant. But if you want to start with domestic cleaning, it's a journey that you need to be prepared to start that journey with a clean mind, have a lot of patience for growth, because clients will only buy from you when they trust you, they like you, and you're known. So remember, you're just starting and you're seated beating to yourself saying, what's happening? Why aren't I getting referrals? But even the people that have been in business for the last 6 years, I'll tell you, it was hard. It took me about 6 months to find someone to hold my hand. But if I'd given up, then maybe I would have lost this opportunity or where I am. So what I would want to advise anyone that would want to join the cleaning business, don't be scared. The market is so big. Right now, just go to the statistics, put in AI and just say how many cleaning companies do we have in Uganda. It's insane, but the market is still so big. There's a share for everyone. Just find your niche. And your niche is understanding, what do you want to do? Who is the client you want to serve? What makes you different? And that is still something you're going to build. Then if you're that kind of person that really thinks that this is a kind of business that you want to build as a brand in future, then find a credible team of entrepreneurs that are going to help you understand the market. And business is for open-minded people. Are you ready to go through the levels of business? Can you be patient to grow your brand? It doesn't matter. Tomorrow is another day. When you fall down, pick up your pieces. It was hard where I made mistakes in business, but I didn't wake up and say, I don't think this is for me. No, I knew I can fix it and move on. Fix it and move. Feedback, bad feedback, use it to clean up your house. Good feedback, yeah, tell the team, thank you. Can we keep up? Yeah, and move. So for me, the advice I would give to anyone, start.
Wow. Some people say that they underlook the cleaning industry. They think there is no money, there is no profit, it's dirty, it's all these negative things, right? Is it worth it? You don't have to give us any numbers, but is it worth it? Is it profitable? Should people really do it?
Cleaning companies are very profitable. Yeah. One, at first it's because of the stereotype. Honestly, 8 years ago, there were only cleaning companies that were doing quite a lot of commercial. And commercial was so capital intensive because you needed to have money as security. You need to have equipment. If you're going to have a contract, a particular company is giving you a contract, then you need to station machines there. Then you need to buy machines for that company. Then when you get another contract, buy machines for another company. So that's why people are looking at it as, is this lucrative? Do people make money? Then maybe sometimes when you get into the government ones where normally you're paid after 6 months, can you be able to stretch? So I think then the other thing was these other ones that were not doing commercial were doing quite a lot of juakali. And for me, juakali is they want to parade themselves as cleaners and they're just hiring machines only. Then they come, do something vague, close to cleaning. Then they have squeezers and mops. But that's what the people at home have. That's what the maid is using. So what sets you apart? So that's why I encountered so many clients who would first ask me, the first question would be, do you have machines? I don't want you to come here with brushes and mops, because they had experienced that before. So that's why people were stereotyping cleaning companies, looking at that from that angle, because of so many people that had done very poor work. They're not professional. They don't, when they send a quotation, what they say they're going to do, they don't deliver. They don't want to take feedback. But right now, cleaning companies have machines. They have social media pages that are running. We have a cleaning company platform. in Uganda that runs cleaners right now. It's actually going to be revived again. We have standards. Yeah. Right now, we know the machines that are trending. Someone goes to China to just bring machines, then that's someone who is, invested in their business. Just look for machinery. People are looking for more cleaning detergents. What are the chemicals on the market right now? Going for seminars. That shows that it's a business that is growing. That shows that it's a business that is profitable. If this business wasn't profitable, maybe we wouldn't have so many people flooding in the market doing it. But as well, I would still say that the market is still big. Yeah, so it's a business that is really marketable. It's a business that is really lucrative. We are making the money. And it's a business that I would do any day, any time, and I'm not ready to quit. So that shows that it's working. But if I had done 3 years and I jumped out of it, then you would have said, there must be a gap there. There must have been a gap there. Yeah. But yes, I should say that cleaning companies for a cleaning company, it's very lucrative business. Yes.
Sharon. Thank you for coming on the show.
Sure, thank you so much.
I have really had a nice time.
Thank you for having me.
Learned a lot, and we wish you success.
Oh, thank you.
We wish you continued growth.
Thank
and
you.
Keep cleaning those spaces as much as possible.